Okay, Boldies, it's your boy Remy from That's So Bold. And if you guys are able to hear me, I want you guys to type the number one in the chat, please. Um, Let me know if you guys can hear me. Type the number one in the chat. Uh, Hold on one second. I'm just trying to make sure you guys can hear before we get into some things. Okay, good. Okay. So what's up, guys? It's your boy Remy from That's So Bold. And as you guys know, there's been a lot of stuff going on social media regarding this situation and the whole case behind Molly. And I wanted to do another show because, as you guys know, we have interviewed Angelica twice. We've heard her side of the story, and we reported the story because we were very much concerned about the well-being of Molly. We did not report this story for clickbait. We did not report this story for attention, for profit. Anything that we do on our platform, we do not profit off of unless it's sponsored posts where we ask, if you guys would like to promote your brand, you guys can pay to do that. But we're not getting paid to publish stories. There's no one on our payroll. We are very much an independent based blog. So if we're reporting a story, it's because we're very passionate about it. And we were very passionate about the well being of Molly. So I wanted to get that out in the open first, just straight into it, because I know a lot of you guys were trying to say that, oh, how could you report something that you don't really know the correct information about? No, we actually sat down with Angelica. This is the person who, whether you guys want to say she's lying or not, filed the report, and she was in the midst of the incident. So we spoke to Angelica directly. We interviewed her, and I asked her tough questions, and I also asked her questions that you guys wanted to know. So we didn't come on, have her on air and coddle her, rub her back. We got straight to the facts from what she was telling us. And I think it's a little disrespectful that you guys are more fixated, and not everybody. I would say the haters. There are some bloggers. I would give y'all clout and say y'all names like you guys did us in your videos, your PowerPoint, presentations. But I'm not even going to do that. You won't get no promo off that so bold. But there were other bloggers who tried to make it seem like we were, falsely putting information out without doing our research. That's false. We went straight to the horse's mouth, something that you guys did not do. You guys didn't even sit down with Angelica to try to see if her claims were true or false. You guys went with gossip. Some of you were even paid to falsely report things. I could drop those bombs and get into that. But there's some bloggers on YouTube who's on payola and sympathy. They're getting paid to run certain stories, to cover up certain things, but we're not doing that. We're going to report things, and if we make a mistake or if we're wrong, we will take full accountability for it. But in regards to this Molly situation, I don't feel like anything that we've done is wrong because we were concerned about the well-being of a child. So because of that, we investigated the story and went straight to the person who reported the claims mouth. You can go back and listen to the interviews, part 1 and part 2, but we did what we needed to do. And since then, we have not stopped investigating the story. So to you hate and ass bloggers out there who's trying to discredit us and make us look like we're bad journalists, no, we did everything that you guys couldn't do. And you guys are only mad that we were able to pull off some of the things that we pulled off, get some of the support that we got in support of Molly and trying to see if she's okay. You guys didn't do half of the things that we did, but yet you guys want to crucify us. I pay you dust. I pay you dust. So today I decided to rally up some people that I have been seeing on social media really put their raw and be really passionate about the well-being of Molly. Not people who are trying to discredit Angelica and dig into her baby daddy and the custody of her kids. Half of these bloggers on YouTube are more concerned with Angelica's relationship and her baby daddy and this and that versus really even seeing if what she's saying is true or false. You guys are saying she's liars, but the things that you guys are saying, I don't see no real proof. Because one of you blogs decided to do a whole PowerPoint presentation about how Angelica is a liar. And let me say this, and I'm going to keep it 100 I'm gonna keep it real with y'all, Boldies, with all of the new subscribers, with all of the new fans, people who are listening. I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. There are discrepancies in certain claims that were made. There are posts that were changed. There's truth to this story. I believe that even though there are certain holes in the story, even though I do understand certain people's concerns about fabrication and things of that nature, the initial claims I stand behind. If I was in a Costco and I seen a little girl who looked in distress, if I seen what in my mind looked like she was being mistreated, I would confront the people who I feel are associated with that girl. And if I felt like they were not reciprocating what I'm saying, if I felt still unsafe, if I did not feel like, if I didn't feel okay with walking away from the situation, knowing that in my mind the girl would be okay, I would contact the authorities as well. I would have done everything that Angelica did, where she saw what she saw and she reported what she did. Now, everything after that, the social media post, the this, the that, I'm not standing by that. But the initial claims of the girl looking like she's in distress, looking like there's something wrong with her, if I was walking past and seeing her looking like that as well, I would be concerned and I would say something. But I do understand some people's concerns about other things that's been said, things that they feel are being fabricated. I understand. But let's not take away from the fact that Molly looked like she was not okay. And because of that, a citizen, Angelica, felt it was necessary to confront the family and to report the claim. Why are you guys not worried about Molly's well-being, but you guys are worried about Angelica and her baby daddy? I need answers. But, another YouTuber decided to put some stuff out trying to say that they have proof that Angelica's lying because they have proof of a chat that Angelica was in with a Facebook group that's dedicated to fighting justice for kids and finding missing kids. So let me give you guys a little bit of a background on what I'm talking about. Allegedly, and I would say that it's not really allegedly because there's some truth to it, because I did see the screenshots and I did confirm from Angelica that it's true. Angelica was in a Facebook group that reached out to her asking her to help them get justice for Molly. They wanted information on the case. They wanted to know her perspective. Allegedly, they contacted her with good intentions, allegedly. In the midst of the conversation, this Facebook group, which I need to get receipts, I would like, and I do have a screenshot of the group, so I will be doing a further investigation about the credibility of this group, because I was not able to do that today with all the other things I needed to take care of. But I need to know why this blogger felt like this group was so credible enough to take what they're saying and put it in their video and try to slander and get their fan base to turn against Angelica. But not only that, to try to say that the case is just some made up BS, that she's okay and the case is just some bullshit, basically. So I need to get the credibility from this Facebook group, because I want to know the members, I want to know their credentials, I want to know their degrees. I mean, if you're in a Facebook group that's dedicated to fighting crime and finding missing kids, I would assume that if you're in this group saying that you spoke to sheriffs at the Riverside Police Department, I would assume that if you're in this group saying that you spoke to managers at Costco where they sat on the phone with you and let you overhear audio from a video at Costco and all this bullshit. If you have all these credentials to get Costco to release footage to you or let you overhear the footage, you must have some type of importance. So I would love to see the members of this group so I can see how credible they are, that you felt it was okay to put them in your video and try to discredit this whole Molly situation. I would love to see it. But anyways, this person decided to go based off of what these people in this group were saying to Angelica. Now, I read the screenshots. Like I said, I can understand some people's fear or judgment about the story. I can understand some people's concerns. But I don't care. I don't care about if this is a lie, if that's a lie. What I care about is what I've seen in the video. And I feel like there's something going on here. I'm not saying that it's all of what's being said, but we should be concerned about really thoroughly investigating if these claims that were made are true and getting some type of validation to have security to know that, okay, this was thoroughly investigated, it's not true or it is true, whatever, there will justice that will be served. We don't have anything but Instagram posts from police departments. We don't have anything. You guys are, the police department's taking more time into writing posts to try to prove Angelica's a liar, whether it be true or false, but yet they're not giving us any concrete proof about the safety of Molly. We're not getting any proof. We're hearing that this was said in investigations and all this stuff, but nobody's giving us proof. Where's the proof? If you guys want us to believe that this is all some bullshit, if you guys want us to believe all this stuff, take Angelica out and if she's telling the truth or lying. Let's talk about the proof about the safety of Molly, because that's what I've been concerned about since day one. I just went to the horse's mouth, which is Angelica, because if I'm going to talk about a story, I'm going to see if I can get everybody involved to come onto the show or to give me some type of a statement. I did what you're supposed to do as a journalist. I'm not getting paid to change my story and to flip it and twist it, like some of you other YouTube blogs. That's the true tea. But the nerve of you blogs. I really wanted to say something else, but I'm going to just say the nerve. Okay? So I said it here before I get into our guest and let them come on here and talk. I do not stand by lies. That So Bold does not stand by lies. We are not, even though I do think I'm that B and my receipts do hit, we are liable to make mistakes. But in this case, not one mistake has been made. And that's just true tea. But since you guys are just so, you guys are critics, and I'm going to encourage some of you other bloggers who have been working overtime to mention our names and to use us as clickbait and to discredit us. I'm going to invite you to get your whole fan base up in here. Okay? Because I'm ready for them today. And make sure that all the claims that you make can be validated. Okay, we're gonna make sure of that. But I'm gonna let my guests get into what they got to say, because we have 3 young ladies who will be a part of today's show. You guys have met one of them. Her name is Anita, or April Anite. You guys know her as that, but you guys really know her as AAA, okay? Because y'all remember when she came up on here, I think it was like 2-3 days ago, and she really read y'all rights, okay? She is an attorney, and she's doing her damn thing, and she will be on the show towards the ending, but she might pop up, throughout the show to say what she got to say. And we also have Chyna, who will be a part of the show. She has some things to talk about as well. She's very passionate about this. She's been passionate about this, and she's been investigating and, doing her due diligence. Okay, due diligence. Okay, she's been doing what she got to do. She will be stopping by. We're going to put their social medias in the chat for you guys as well. We're going to put April's. We're going to put Chyna, aka Sip with Chyna. And we're also going to put Nosey's information in here. And look, let me say this, okay? What we're worried about today is Molly. So to anybody who has beef with anybody that's on air, take it somewhere else, please. Save it for another video. We're not worried about that. We are worried about Molly. And Nosey is definitely somebody who has been passionate about this whole situation with Molly. And she has some things to say. Okay, Nosey got a team. She got some investigators who's investigating, their investigators is investigating. So they all got some receipts, they got tea, and they're ready to spill it. Okay? So I'm going to open the floor to Nosey. Nosey girl, if you are here, introduce yourself.
Hey, I'm here.
Hey guys, Nosey's here, as you guys can hear. And Nosey, I had to let them know that you have some information about this case. You have an opinion about it, and you have a huge following who is very supportive of you, and they're passionate about it as well. So I wanted to let you come up on here and tell us what you have to tell us about this whole Molly situation.
Yeah, sure. I have a lot of my mermaids and sharks in the comments putting their emojis. So, hey, everybody. So we found out about this from That's So Bold on Instagram. All of my subscribers were sending it to me. We did a whole maybe 5 live videos on this on my YouTube channel before it was taken down 2 days ago. I called Gilbert Police in Arizona. I got the license plate number. When I say I mean me and my subscribers. We got the license plate number from the car that they left with Molly. We ran the license plate, found out who owns the car. Like, we did a whole investigation to track this girl down. And we called the adoption agency because the family used the banner of an adoption agency. We called them. Like, we've done just a whole investigation. I had one of my investigators, the lead investigator, send you all of the receipts. I sent you 2 videos to show 2 phone calls that I had with officers at Gilbert Police Department. So it's been a lot. It's been a whole lot. And I will just say, me personally, I feel that Molly is in danger. On my channel, we started the hashtag Costco Girl. That's why you see that in the comments so many times. Thank you all for putting hashtag Costco Girl. We started that, and we've been using it on Twitter and Instagram, constantly asking the police to do a actual wellness check to make sure that that girl is okay. We've called CPS. Like, we did a lot, and we still don't have word that Molly is okay. But I just don't think that she is. I saw her in that video. I saw the picture that showed her knees and how dark her knees are. And I spoke to the adoption agency, who does not even know that family, even though they seem to be trying to make people believe that they adopted her from that agency. Molly appears to be Haitian. Honestly, I believe that Molly was taken from Haiti illegally. So we're just trying to figure out what's going on. The girl looks like she's in distress. Everybody that has an issue with Angelica, who cares? Who cares? All right. One thing people need to do is grow up. You cannot expect, you know, when you're a black person, you should be expecting people who are not black to possibly have some racism in them anyway. I just don't understand why people are acting confused about that. You're black. You know that a lot of people are racist. Who cares? She opened her mouth, whether it's a racist mouth or not, and said something about what she saw. And when you look at the video, you know you see the same thing. Something's not right. Something's not right. Okay? Something's not right. So whatever I can do and whatever my supporters can do to help, we will.
Yeah, and I'm definitely appreciative of that because, like I said, I've noticed you've been going very hard, for this case. And I feel like it's a lot of times people are taken away from Molly's well being and they're more focused on all this other stuff that I feel like, okay, it could be some truth to it, but is that really what you guys should be concerned about? Because you guys have 2 eyes. You guys seen the video.
Yeah,
I just
exactly.
it just doesn't make any sense to me. But
Exactly.
I know that you have some recordings, and I know you have some things. So are you, can we let the viewers hear your interaction with the police department?
You sure can. I spoke to 2 officers. They both immediately became off. They came off really aggressive, and so I got aggressive back. I know how racist Caucasian men operate, especially in small towns and places that you're not familiar with. I'm from the South. I know how that is. So I just want to warn everybody that I spoke to them the way they wanted to be spoken to. Obviously, I'm very, I give out what I get, and they was giving real negative energy, real aggressive. So I went there with them. But that's what needed to happen. That's my approach. So yeah, sure, feel free to play them.
Okay, and for clarification purposes, there's 2 audios, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're going to play the first one for you guys because we have a lot of receipts. We've been recording our interactions with the police department, with other people, with witnesses, and I have some bombs, but I'm gonna wait. I do have some bombs, y'all. I'm gonna wait to drop them. Some things that I think these other blog girls should have done, but we'll get to that. We're gonna get to this recording really quick. Let me just make sure it's ready. 1 second, guys. Okay, you guys are definitely going hard in the chat. I'm seeing Nosey, your team they came repping for you. I see them in the chat uh going hard for you. I love that. I love everybody who is That's So Bold supporter, anybody who is a new supporter. Thank you guys for listening. I'm just trying to get these receipts ready for you guys.
Yes.
Okay, Nosy, we see you in the camera. If you guys can see Nosy, show her some love in the comments.
Hey
But
mermaids, hey sharks.
okay, but we're going to get to the receipts. Hold on, guys, just bear with me. It's coming right
Yes.
now. And let me tell y'all in the comments who's
Michael, do you have a badge number?
actually we gonna.
Do you have an emergency?
Do you have a badge number, Michael?
Ma'am, do you have an emergency?
Okay. This police department is crazy.
Ma'am, do you have a life or death emergency?
Sir, this is a life or death fucking emergency when a child is. What do you keep repeating that for? Are y'all okay out there? I know it's hot. And I know some of y'all's brains cook easily in the sun, but calm down. I'm calling to report.
Gilbert Police, this is Trevor.
Oh my God. They transfer me and everything. Can you say your name again, please?
This is Trevor. I'm sorry that we had to put you on hold there. How can I help you?
They didn't put me on hold. He was rude to me and didn't transfer me to you. Do you have a badge number, sir?
I do. My badge is 100-577.
Okay. So I was just on the phone with someone who called me back and was really, really, really nasty and rude to me, cut me off while I was speaking, and is refusing to investigate allegations of child molestation. I don't know what's going on in Gilbert, Arizona.
Do you have an address? Do you have an address of where that's occurring?
Someone did pull up the address. If you'll give me a moment to get it for you.
Okay, sure thing.
Okay, but I'm sure you're aware of it. You sound very condescending like the rest of them. I just want to let you all know I'm currently asking all of my YouTube subscribers to call you all as many times as we need to. So you can get ready to speak to a whole bunch of people. And they're going to be black, white, blue, red, and green. I'm just letting you know. The address that we have is 1253 South Porter Court, Gilbert, Arizona, 85296.
So you said 1253 South Porter Court in Gilbert?
Yes.
Oh, okay, I'm just confirming there. Let me go through some details. I do think I see a call for service. What did you say your name was again?
My name is Marley.
Marley, okay.
I'm glad they think it's a joke, but this is going to be all over. They think it's funny. They think I'm just some black girl that's just called. This is going to be all over YouTube. This is going to be all. I hope they keep taking it for a joke. I hope they do.
Okay, Marley. So let me grab some information from you. So you're calling about the child abuse, correct?
I sure am. I am. And we're all going to call you.
Okay.
All of us.
Okay, so give me some information here so I can get this down for my officers. What's going on?
Okay. As if you don't know, but that's fine. There's a video that's circulating on social media of a girl in a Costco in Palm Desert, California. And she complained to a witness that her parents rape her. The witness also observed the girl asking for food and the father refusing to give it to her. So it's all over social media now. And like I said, I don't know much about Gilbert. I've never heard of Gilbert, Arizona. But in the rest of the world, when people see black girls being mistreated these days, we get on.
Wait, hold on. Was that the whole video, or did it? I think we might have had some technical difficulties.
Maybe so.
Okay. Now, Nosey, I want you, before we might try to get it back up. I know some people are in.
Oh, he's gone now. Okay. I think he'll have to bring himself back. So everybody just hold on. The host should be back. We're not really able to do anything or pull up anything until he comes back. So everybody just be patient. I can elaborate.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I was going to elaborate on the call because you got cut off. But go ahead.
Yes. No, I was going to say that I wanted you to elaborate on it because I felt like some people are in the comments like, why is she being aggressive? Why, why can't she talk calmly, or it's a lot of stuff being said. So I want you to take this time to address it.
Yeah, people do that to dark-skinned black women a lot when dark-skinned black women are bold enough, so bold enough to be outspoken and passionate. A lot of people like to try to tell dark-skinned black women to be humble. Also, people who are saying that were not in the comments in the chat to see what happened when I initially called 5, 6 times and was treated, crazy by the police. So by the point that I spoke to this man, I had already received a private phone call from an officer who completely shut me down. That call I sent to you also. And he just completely just, she's fine. And, I'm going to call your New York Police Department on you, which is crazy. You're calling the police on me for reporting what might be a crime. Also, this same officer told me that traffic jams were more important than a black girl being raped. So anybody who was not there wouldn't know. They wouldn't understand the temperature of the situation because they were not there. My subscribers were there the whole time that I called. They know exactly what happened, and they understand exactly why I spoke to them that way. I'm going to continue to be a loud, outspoken, passionate, dark-skinned black girl, even if it makes people uncomfortable. Get over it.
Now, I want to address some things really quick. I feel like I invited Nosy to come on the show because and I think with journalism, people have to understand that you may have opinions about a person. You may not like that a person's loud, quiet, whatever the case may be. But you should respect a person's passion, okay? And I feel like Nosy has been very passionate about this case. People may not like the fact that she's aggressive, so they say, or whatever they want to say. But as far as the well-being of Molly, I have been only seeing her being concerned about the well-being of Molly. Whatever
I
other
wish they
stuff,
could be concerned about Molly too. I wish they could grow up and get over the
yeah,
upset
whatever other stuff, and
over me and focus on Molly.
I don't know all the other things that has transpired or whatever stuff. You know, people talk about stuff that happened in years ago, or it could have happened yesterday, whatever the case may be. I don't care about any of that. I think we should be focused on what Nosy has to say about Molly, and Nosy has been doing research about this. She's been speaking to people, whether you like the way she's talking or not. And I think y'all should focus on that and not other stuff that y'all are saying in the chat. So,
Well,
I
some
do.
are not mature enough to be able to do that. But again, I do hope and pray that they can just get over me for once and stop the obsession with me and focus on this little girl. I
Yeah,
hope.
I definitely feel like people should be focused on Molly at this point. So, like I said, guys, whether you like the person who's reporting the story, let's worry about the story. And I feel like you guys are so focused on what people are saying in social media to try to discredit the person who told the story. You guys are trying to discredit the story. Look at the video, okay? And that's why we're here. So, Nosy, I know you have some more stuff to say. I know you had some more things to, reveal, but I'm gonna open the door now to Chyna. I'm gonna let Chyna say some things too.
Sure.
So you guys can get to know the other person who has been very passionate about this whole case and just finding out if Molly is really okay. So, Chyna, are you here in the studio?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, so welcome to That So Bold, Chyna. I have been following things that you have been doing and saying about the case, and I feel like you are also passionate about it, and you also do have some observations about this whole situation. So I'm gonna give you the floor.
Thank you so much, and also thank you for having me on That's So Bold. So if you guys, for the people that know me and for the people that don't know me, my name is Sip with China. That's my Instagram username. So yeah, you can check me out on there. Um, if you're not familiar with me. So basically, I've basically been doing a lot of research about like what's going on with this case, and a lot of things have been rubbing me the wrong way. So specifically, you know me, I like to do digging that nobody else would probably go and even look at with the help of AAA at that. So we got into it on the Pinterest that um, the mother has for Molly and her other children. So she has in her Pinterest there was this little book that I really didn't like. It was like about basically how porn is bad or whatever, for kids. Yeah, good pictures, bad pictures. porn proofing for kids. Now, I know what the book is about already. Y'all don't have to let me know. But the reason why I don't like the book is, for one, why do young kids need to be introduced about porn, or talking about it anyway? And but my main concern was the alleged allegations that about Molly being molested and stuff like that. So that raised a red flag to me. You know, so the adoption agency, as we you guys probably already know, has no knowledge of Molly's adoption. But what if Molly was adopted from another agency, is what I asked myself. So I did more digging, and you know how the family, they help save people from sex trafficking, allegedly. So but there's no recollection of whom they've helped, and if they wanted to there's just no knowledge of the people that they saved. So I was like, okay, well, maybe they wanted to show the identities. So but if they wanted to show the identities, they could still provide a statistic count of how many people that they've helped without sharing names. So, where's all this money coming from? Where are they getting like millions of dollars that they've raised to stop sex trafficking? So I was like, are they stopping sex trafficking, or are they a part of it? Because there are a lot of people who use, oh, I'm anti-sex trafficking, just so they can go into, marginalized areas, and then they can commit those heinous acts on others. And unfortunately, it happens to a lot of people whom live in poor areas. In different countries, they go to countries that are predominantly Black and predominantly Asian and predominantly Indian. So that was like, that's why I don't like the book that he has shown. But what myself and others would like to see, because I don't really care too much about Angelica, and I care about what she said because she brought it to the forefront. But my whole thing is about Molly. That's who I care about. So what myself and others would like to see is an update from Molly and the family, because it has been a number of days since anyone has seen Molly. My main focus is the protection of Black girls. And so if you guys would like to do this for Gilbert Police Department, I feel like we should ask for a wellness check and provide proof, and ask them to provide proof of their wellness check with a paper trail. And if you guys would like the phone number to that, it's 480-503-6500. And again, that is 480-503-6500. Because we really just need to make sure this little girl is okay, just like me personally. I always do a thorough check to make sure all Black girls that I feel are, in a terrible situation, I try to make sure that they are safe. So police department can provide a paper trail of their wellness check. Since they post everything else, I'm sure they would have no I'm pretty sure they wouldn't feel any type of way about posting their wellness check and everything that they did for their wellness check to provide, to assure us that Molly is safe. That's all I wanted to say. But I'm going to stay here and I'm going to be tuned in. Make sure y'all follow me on Instagram at Sit with Chyna. Thank you.
Thank you, China, for that. And like I said, guys, I invited people onto the show who I feel are passionate about Molly's well-being. These are people who are not fixated on what's really lie, what's really the truth. They're fixated on the video that they've seen, stuff that is being sent to them from people who are close to the family, stuff that's being investigated behind the scenes. We even have an attorney, aka April, who will be coming on air to talk, and you guys heard what she had to say the other day. So it's not just people who sitting around with their opinions just throwing it out there. These are people who did research, whether you guys believe it or not, and these are people who put a lot of time into speaking to different people, and it's going to be presented today, as it has been somewhat already. But you guys, and I'm the reason why I really ignore haters is because I feel like if you're a journalist, you got to be ready to deal with the good and the bad. People are going to like what you're reporting. They're not going to like it. At the end of the day, as a journalist, sometimes you have to talk about controversial topics, and you have to talk about how you feel about those topics. So for those who are fans of other blogs who are in here trying to just throw shade, baby, I'm with the shits, okay? It's okay. You guys are more than welcome to form your opinion, but understand that this video was being made because we are concerned about the safety of Molly. We're not here to talk about who this person is beefing with, what this person did, what happened. We're talking about Molly. So let's focus on that, please. Um, and like I said, I have April with me. I'm gonna let April come on air, April, because I've really been waiting for what you got to say. Because I know a lot of our fans are in the comments like AAA, AAA, and I know you're heated because I know you have a lot of opinions about this case.
Well, thanks for having me on. That's so bold. Just following up on his story, I'm at a loss for words because the comments and the energy directed toward the person who captured what was happening, the comments, the energy directed to people, all of us, people who don't know each other but have come together for this case, have been despicable and deplorable. And they say a lot about the moral compass of America, because instead of focusing on a missing child that we have not saw in 11 days, people have decided to go to blogs, be that whether they were paid or promised subscribers. They were using that as a platform to dismiss the fact that we still do not and have not seen this little 11-year-old girl since she was allegedly reporting abuse and being walked out by her neck and getting in the vehicle alone, a minivan with her adopted dad. But let's remove Angelica off the table completely. Let's disregard that video completely. And I'll give a firsthand account of all of my experiences trying to merely do a citizen's concern, not as any lawyer, not as a business consultant, not as any influencer, nothing but just a concerned citizen. And must I say, woe is me if somehow that is wrong to give a damn about people. But I guess I was raised right and they don't do things like that anymore. So let's get to the facts and remove all of that Angelica stuff off the table. Let's just go with
Well,
what we saw.
hold on, AAA. I don't mean to cut you off. I'm reading the
No
comments,
worries.
and you know, I kind of want to make it very known. Please list your credentials, because to those who are listening to this video, they need to know that you're not just coming out like, and I feel like anybody who spoke today, you guys should respect the fact that they did some type of research, whether you agree with it or not. And they have more receipts. They have a lot more that we can show throughout the show. But as far as AAA goes, I would like her to list her credentials so you guys can see she's definitely qualified to say what she got to say. Because if y'all want to say I'm not or whoever isn't, she knows what she's talking about. Period.
It's nothing I despise more than being a Black attorney and being attacked by my own people. Like, you guys don't do this with white attorneys. You walk in their office and you bow down. They tell you to pay whatever and you'll put up your house to do such. A beautiful Black woman comes along and I can't be who I say I am. Shame on y'all. And I hate that I even have to talk about myself instead of Molly, who's the person that I've given up half my life for the past week. But since you must know, my name is April Robinson. I went to Spelman College, class of 2007. I was a double major in political science and international studies. I graduated cum laude. I went to Boston College on a on an academic scholarship. It wasn't full because law school still was expensive. Graduated 2011 and started my career. I've been practicing law about 11 years. This is what I do. This is who I am. I'm from ATL, and I'm not going to roll out any more credentials. If you guys don't have the wherewithal to do a Google search, that's on you. And I'm not the target. I'm not the focus. This is not about me. So can we focus on still a missing child that we haven't seen in 11 days? Or do you
Can I?
guys want to tango in distractions? What's
I'm
up?
sorry. I'm sorry, April. I think that this is what you're talking about, and what's happening is a perfect example of why I wanted to bring so much light to this. Because if this was a girl of a different race, I think people would focus on her. It's so disgusting. And these are our own race of people, Black people, who are so focused on trolling or trying to question who you are or your education, are so obsessed with me just being here that they cannot focus on this little girl. Stop being psycho and focus on this girl. I'm sorry. If this was a white, I think if this was a white girl, nobody would be acting this way. I think
I,
Black girls are disregarded a lot.
I feel that before we let you continue, April, I do agree. I do think that you guys, because, and this is my opinion, like I said, this channel is for people to voice their opinions. And I feel like since I am doing this video, I'm going to say what I got to say. And I feel like if this was a girl from another race, you guys are not, because like I said, there's a lot of people in the comments who are very concerned about Molly, who are um, rallying with us to get more information about her well-being and not worrying about the gossip. But I feel like if this was somebody else, there would not be no more as much speculation. It wouldn't really be that much being said. You guys would be doing what you got to do to worry about, is this girl okay? But it's funny how you guys are nitpicking what you guys want to focus on when I've been saying since day one, where the hell is Molly, and is Molly okay? I don't care about all that other stuff. I really don't care about who did what, who baby daddy did what, who don't like what. I want to know about Molly. So you should respect the fact that there's 3 women on here, whether you like them or not, who are concerned and who are trying to get the truth. Period. So with that being said, April, take the floor, because I hear you typing. I know you got a lot that you want to say.
So let's just direct the energy to Molly. Everyone that wants to know about me and my background, it's not about me, guys. I'm not the focus. I'm not missing. I'm here. Let's just direct the energy to Molly. So starting from the top, looking at a still frame of the picture alone, there may be some dispute, but I think if we took a poll, most Black women will say her hair was visibly unkempt. It wasn't cared for. And the clothing, the choice of clothing that she wore, it may not have been suspicious, but if you look at the photograph, this family came, they did a road trip from Arizona to California. They were all somewhat coordinated, as you do when you're on family trips. They all had on t-shirts, just different colors. Molly had on a garb that it seemed antiquated, not really with the times, hair disheveled. And when you zoom in, she had large bags under her eyes. And you would think, why would a 16-year-old have large bags under their eyes? It's summertime, if anything. They're sleeping late. It's not like school or anything is up early. So that's problematic. So it just looked weird. But not only did it look weird, let's talk about the departure. I do not have any children, but I have a nephew, and I have children that I love and care about, my godchildren. If someone came up to me yelling and screaming and waging accusations that were salacious, oh, it will be hell to pay. No, definitely call the cops so we can clear this up. Definitely bring them here so we can straighten you up and down. I wouldn't run for 1 second with someone waging such allegations. The family, what did they do? As soon as those allegations hit the airway, as soon as she pulled out the camera, they got in separate cars and fled the state. That is incontrovertible. We know that. We know they got in separate vehicles based on the footage. Molly and her adopted dad got in a minivan, which seems weird because the remainder of the family got into a sedan, smaller car. So why would 4 or 5 people pile into the smaller car and let 2 people go to the minivan? That is weird. That is strange. Let's unpack this. Parents out there, I see a lot of comments. Please weigh in. If your child is not feeling well and they don't want to eat, and you're about to drive 5.5 hours across state lines, are you still going to get them something to eat? Just saying, hey, even if you don't feel good, I'm going to make sure you have some food because you're going to get hungry later. This is just basic common sense. You don't have to be a journalist or attorney or some Instagram aficionado to see that that doesn't make sense. That demonstrates a lack of cause and concern. But let's continue to unpack. After looking at that video, I'm going to speak about my firsthand experience. I said, oh, let me Google what city this was in, Palm Desert, California. So I said, oh, I'll call Child Protective Services because at this point I knew nothing except I saw a child and she looked disheveled compared to her family. I called Child Protective Services and I spoke with a woman by the name of Karen. I'm not sure if that is her actual name or if that is an alias they use when they're receiving anonymous calls. But she said that she was aware of the video. It was her understanding that the child did not live in California. And in instances like this, it would be best to contact the National Child Abuse and Sex Trafficking Hotline. I said, okay, I'll call. I got a few minutes to do my civic duty. I called the national hotline, and this is where things got interesting for me. After calling the national hotline, they ran us in a circle. And it was an obvious circle. One of my colleagues was sitting with me. We were having coffee before starting the workday. She said that there was nothing they could do except return us to the local officials. So then I asked the question, you guys raise a lot of money. And even when you call, option number 2 and 5 is the option to give a donation. So what does the money go to? They don't do aftercare services. She said they do some counseling in instances, but they don't do actual extractions and rescues. We needed to go to local law enforcement. I said, okay. We continue to talk because I'm still confused. I've never reported such a thing. She says, well, I know, everyone's up in arms. And she said it very cavalier. And this is when things took a turn for me. She said, everybody knows that town, Palm Desert, they made national news because they're large in sex trafficking. My colleague jumped up and spit out her coffee. We were like, what? No, not everyone knows that. I was not aware of that. Now I'm even more concerned, given the dynamics of the situation. She routed me back to the local police department. I called Gilbert Police, and basically they laughed at me. I came as a professional and also a concerned citizen, just saying I wanted to put this on your radar. There's a young woman on the video. Several people have expressed concerns about the physicality and what we saw. Again, they laughed at me. I asked to speak to a sergeant at this point because I'm thinking maybe this is someone inexperienced, a gatekeeper or clerical secretarial in that role where they're not having an appreciation for the severity of the case. Once they transferred my call to Sergeant Ronner, he was indifferent and said he'll get back to me when he got a chance. I said, sir, I'm really concerned about this lady, just how the family moved after the accusations came out. You know, with my experience, innocent people don't leave in the face of an accusation, and innocent people sure as hell do not flee the state. It was bizarre. He said, well, you need to go where the crime was committed. So the circle continued. At this point, I'm 30 minutes in thinking, dang, I got to get to work. I'm supposed to be logging on. I said, well, let me try one more time to call Riverside. This is where things got crazy. I Googled Riverside, and like the pop-up said something about Riverside slave when you type it in. I was like, whoa, that's weird. So when you type that in, the first thing that comes up is Riverside Police Department's website. And you guys in the comments, hey trolls, since you Twitter fingers, please Google it. Riverside Police Sex Trafficking Task Force. It's my understanding they've updated it recently since they got called out. But when you Google it, it's a PowerPoint. It's not even a website. And we have screenshots of it. There, could you guys put the screenshot up with the phone number and everything? So the task force, I'm thinking I'm trying to call them. And the phone number with the task force looks weird and it's off. So you see how the task force phone number is, the dashes are off. So it was a little confusing. But when I looked at the number closely, that's the same number for the national hotline. I said, this is weird. Their website was not an actual website. It was this random PowerPoint. And they talked about how much sex trafficking was in the website. It was weird because I knew that it was supposed to be crime, but it felt like a sick way to report their stats. Then there was this picture of this beautiful girl, and I couldn't help but notice her decline, how she started off healthy and by the end strung out. And it was her story, but it was weird because it didn't seem like they cared. It seemed like satire to them and doing it in front of our face playing. Listen, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I don't care about politics. I live my life. I try to be a good human. Like, I don't care about being viral. I personally am a very, very private person. So this is taking a toll personally on my life. So looking at that bothered me even more because it seemed like they were advertising that they could get away with it. I said, there's no way they're this bold. So the tags initially came back, the tags in the car came back to someone named Bacaro. When I Google Bacaro, and trolls Google it, please. I Google Bacaro, what comes up is Michael Bacaro. The Bacaro is the last name associated with those tags. Michael Bacaro is someone who was indicted because he was molesting children. Please Google it. I'm not making this up.
Okay, hold on.
I said, oh, that's weird.
Hold on. We got to get some clarification. Let the viewers know whose tags you're talking about.
The car, it was the sedan. It was the vehicle that Molly's adopted mother was in, and all the kids. And it was the last video, the last shot in the video where you can see a tag. Those tags, when you run them back, they come to a woman named Susan Bacaro.
Okay, so to the boldies, to anybody who's listening to this show right now, like I said, and I want to, do y'all hear that typing? AAA is not playing, okay? AAA has some receipts. And I want you guys to form your opinion based off of, let's not worry about what other bloggers who's getting checks to lie and to hide. So let's not worry about them. Let's worry about what's being said and if it makes sense to you, right? Because AAA just said that the vehicle that you guys seen Molly get in the tags when she ran them tags. Uh, the person who's associated with the vehicle has a case or has been affiliated with sex crimes against children. So I would like for you guys to just listen to what she's saying.
We ran the tags too and got the same information, and we found the address for that person too. So she's not making it up because we did it too.
Yes, y'all heard it from another source. It's been done, and you guys know everything is public record. So to the trolls, to the the other fan base of the blogs that want to come in here to try to spam the chat. I've been looking at the chat. Y'all mad because the love is more than the hate. Period. We worried about Molly. Y'all worried about dumb shit. If y'all want, y'all could do research. Y'all think y'all private investigators every other day. Do the research. Run the
They're not
tags.
And
for
then the
this group.
fact that it's right here on the screen for you guys to type in yourself, and you can do your own little research since you care so much. And while you care, make sure you call that police department where we provided that phone number too.
Yeah, do your research. Run the tags. The investigators, the super detectives in the chat who want to come and just y'all don't even some of y'all don't even know much about the case. Y'all don't went to other YouTubers' comments, listen to 5 minutes of a video and formed an opinion. But I urge you guys to go do facts searches. Go get some receipts that make sense, because then I want to hear you guys' opinion on the case. Y'all not really doing y'all research, but y'all critiquing. But y'all listening to people who took time to do some form of research. But AAA, I know you wasn't done. I know you typing. I'm gonna let you
No,
continue.
that's not. I don't know who's typing. That's not me typing.
Oh, that's
and
not
I
you?
see the chat. They say they can't hear me because someone's typing, but that's not me.
Well, I thought that was you. I thought you was, getting your receipts ready. But I'm gonna let you continue. But no, I really wanted to let it be known. Like, come on now. Even if you guys don't agree, even if you guys don't like the people who's saying it, everything's public record. Do your research. But you can continue.
Okay, so the tags came back to a Baccaro family. So naturally, I did what everyone did. So let me Google her parents. They're Baccaros. That's when I saw the Michael Baccaro was weird, but the guy, Michael Baccaro, was much older. It didn't look like the dad. So at this point, it had started circulating and buzzing on social media. So then it came out that it was Joel Tiffany. So I said, let me Google the parents and just, see who they are. Like the kid is still kind of, we don't know what's going on. And that's when everything started coming out. So I came across the social media pictures of Molly with the bruises on her knee. And I don't know if you guys have seen those bruises, but they are clear. Can we get the bruises on the board?
We're
So
going to
with
try to get
Molly
those bruises for you, but you could just go ahead until we find it.
So there are two different photographs where Molly has visible bruises on her knees. And this is beyond someone being African-American and their knees are slightly dark. This looks like bruises like someone has been drugged or done hard labor on her photographs. She had on a skirt, she had on a red and white headband for one of the family photos. Also, I find it weird that every picture that included Molly was a professional photo, no candids. It almost seems like a manufactured image. Some of the best pictures in your house are the candids, the ones that you get off guard when you're laughing. But you see the bruises on her knee. These pictures are public, they're out. So that bothered me because I'm like, why does she look kind of scuffed up? And then going a little bit further, I said, well, I wonder what school she goes to. Maybe she plays sports or something. So I Googled the high schools and middle schools in Gilbert, came up with a list and looked through the yearbooks, and I didn't see her anywhere. And that's when I came across the Pinterest. In the Pinterest, Rebecca has a homeschooling folder. Also in Pinterest, Rebecca has folders dedicated to all of her children. Can we play the video, the Pinterest that demonstrates the distinction between Marina and Molly, their Pinterest folders, and the different matters that they had? Because I'm sure Nosey and Chyna is going to pipe in once we break down the Pinterest and how, as we speak, right now, while you guys are in here trolling, guess what Rebecca's doing? She's pinning. She's been pinning today. And we got her caught in the 4K. So we're gonna roll that out.
I think that she is in school. Someone who went to school with their oldest daughter. I think we have a picture of her in school, like on the school's website or something. I know my lead investigator Mika is in here. She can email it. I'm pretty sure we have a picture of her in school.
Okay, so
we homeschool too.
And look, I see people in the chat room talking about what kind of lawyer. Listen, y'all can't come for my credentials. I'm here as a
You can't
concerned
let them.
citizen. So
You can't let them
it's
do that to you.
yeah,
I
it's just it's
do this
ridiculous.
every
It's
day.
ridiculous.
We
Like
can ignore
focus. We
them.
really it's a missing girl,
Let
and
them argue with their mamas. These people are mentally unwell to be
it's a
sitting
missing
here
little girl.
acting like this when a
Really?
girl is missing. They're unwell. You have
Um,
to. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
Nosy,
let's comments. Honestly, sometimes.
hold on
I don't
before
even
we
put them
continue.
on
Nosy, they're saying that your mic is a little staticky.
my mic. Okay, let
Yeah.
me try to
You could
change
leave
it.
and come back if you need to.
Let me try to change it first and see if this works.
Okay. But April, you can continue.
okay, can we go ahead and play this? And everyone, can you guys tune in? This is the folder showing the comparative analysis between Marina's Pinterest folder and Molly's Pinterest folder. This is Rebecca's Pinterest. This was open. I don't know if she's closed it, but at least when we saw it, it was her open Pinterest. It was public to everyone, fellow pinners. So can we go ahead and play that, please?
All right, you might have to bear with us because it's on this Pinterest page.
Yes, and it should be volume. I don't know if we can play it, but it should be narration on top of this video where we zoom in and narrate with the different things. But right now, this is Marina's board that's coming through pretty normal, pretty standard. Just things with knitting, playing your instrument, some books to read, teenage proper use of a cell phone. And then for Molly's Pinterest board,
So
here we
then
go.
there are serious discrepancies in Molly's. We see, okay, hair products, how to do her hair, which they don't do. Crazy hair, don't care. So are they telling her her natural hair is crazy? Aprons. Aprons? Okay. And then we get into how to not wet the bed, which is a very known trauma response for kids who experience sexual abuse. And then chore charts.
So this is Becky Tiffany's folder for her white daughter. Just some normal kid stuff, art projects, food to make, things about reading, pretty normal supportive stuff. Just kind of art projects, food to make, books to read.
So then there are serious discrepancies in Molly's. We see, okay, hair products, how to do her hair, which they don't
Okay, I think
do.
it's replaying
Crazy hair.
again.
Okay. Okay, so also guys, I'm gonna ask you to fast forward a little bit. Under there is the aprons. That's weird because no other kid had aprons and she has other daughters. The chore charts, that's weird because no other child had that. And all I could think is Molly the maid. So also with that, under the bedwetting book, there's another book, Tummy Mummy. And this is a book about adoption and surrogacy. And that's just strange. So the Costco Girl team, my team, we ordered the book and pulled it off Amazon. It was supposed to be here September 13th, but I think the angels was on outside because we got it the very next day. So this is the book she had in Molly's talking about a woman's inability to have a child and surrogacy. Very strange. And if anyone in here says that this is nothing and this means nothing, you guys are delusional and you can drink that Kool-Aid elsewhere.
Oh
This
my
is
God.
weird. This is
I'm
very
sorry.
weird.
That just gave me chills. I'm sorry. This seems like Handmaid's Tale to me. Oh my God. I'm sorry. That gave me chills when you said that. Go ahead. I'm sorry, April.
Yeah, and I see some of the trolls talking about the bedwetting. Bedwetting at a late age is an exact sign of a response to trauma. And how do we know it was recent? Is because, well, up until today, Rebecca hadn't updated her Pinterest board for 2 years. And can we get a screenshot on the board of her updating her boards so we can really dissect that when we caught her in a 4K trying to change Molly's board?
We're gonna try to get that for you right now.
Okay, so today, within the last day, Rebecca Barlow went on her Pinterest and updated one board. She has about 10 boards, Pinterest boards, all of them updated 2 years ago. The only one she's updated in the last 4 hours and the last 11 hours is Molly's folder. Some things came out and some things went in. She spent more time crafting a Pinterest image instead of producing the child to demonstrate that she is safe. And I don't understand why people could fix their lips and say we're chasing clout for caring about a kid. Like, y'all are tripping
Uh,
right now, for real.
hold on. I need to address that. You guys do know that nobody that I have on this show is getting a check for what they're doing, right? No one is getting a check. No one's being paid, being sponsored. These are people's opinions who's concerned about the safety of a child. I keep having to reiterate that to y'all because I think that y'all are not realizing that no one has gave us a clear update on the safety of Molly. There has been Instagram posts being made saying, "Oh, she's okay. We've investigated." There's been claims from people claiming that they know she's okay, but there has not been no video showing she's okay. There has not been no, and what's mind-boggling to me is I feel like as parents, right, that is being accused of mistreating a child. Why would you not want to show how much you love your child? Why would you not? You can go to the news station, do an interview. You can do a home video. You can give us a written update. You can do so much to show us that you're just as concerned about the well-being of her as we are. You don't want no one to think that she's being mistreated. So here's my family story. Here's Molly. She's okay. But instead, her family decided to deactivate pages, take things off Pinterest, change names, delete accounts. Why are you doing the utmost to hide yourselves and your family instead of proving to people that this girl is okay? Because if you want to say Angelica's a liar, cool. You want to say this, that, and the third, whatever. But I don't care about that. I want to know, is Molly okay? No one has given us concrete proof. But people are upset that people are still concerned about her. I think
Right.
that's a little weird.
Exactly. And man, let me put it in on this. Everyone that's on this panel right now, none of us need clout. Since y'all want to sit here and say clout chasing, no one needs clout off of this. We actually care about this child. And
Okay.
you guys can, if you look at the screen, you can see that something is obviously wrong. And even if she's not being sexually abused, she could still be being physically abused, because that will also cause wet bedding. So chill with that, unless you
I
actually.
just it's ridiculous, and I agree with you, China. I just think it's ridiculous. I don't care what y'all got to say. Y'all should be just as outraged to get concrete proof that Molly is okay. They do videos for everything else. People be doing videos for everything else. We get validation for everything else, but when it comes down to the safety of a black girl, we're going based off what bloggers are saying. Let me let y'all see what I'm talking about, okay? A blogger made a video saying that the claims that's being made about Molly are false because of an Instagram group and I mean not an Instagram group, a Facebook group that's made up of regular ordinary people who just want to be super investigators and help fight crime, saying that they investigated the case and spoke to Costco managers and police department sheriffs, and they confirmed that Molly is okay, so she's okay. And then we have bloggers who are going on their platform saying, "Oh, she's okay," because a Facebook group came to me and showed me proof of them talking to Angelica, and they said they did investigation, so she's okay. You guys are going with information from people who are ordinary people like y'all try to say I am. They don't got no badge, no special qualifications to say what they're saying is true. But then you guys are going and you're reporting it, and then you're having angry trolls come in the comments like, "Oh, well, such and such said this is a lie." Come on now. But you know what? I'm gonna just let the show keep flowing. April, are you here? Cause this is like, I feel like you guys are really like ridiculous. Like it's really bothering me. Um, it's really bothering me. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm reading the comments. Uh,
I'm
I'm
not
reading
sure
the
if
comments.
it's still here, but I hope that um this is an example of how black girls are um ignored. It's always, oh well, she's okay. No, that girl is not okay. I'm sorry. This reads
Yes,
like Handmaid's Tale to me. It's weird. Also on her Pinterest, she has something about teaching children about pornography. That was on her Pinterest too. We had that too. Like it's a lot that's just not right here. And the way the police were aggressive towards me, it seems like the police know about something not being right. And the police department has had their own allegations of sexual assault against female officers. Also, that's very important to bring up.
Oh,
So
Nosy, the police department has a lot of allegations and a lot of receipts on there how they operate.
yeah,
We got those. We have those receipts.
which is why they were so aggressive towards me when I first called. I was just calling and they became aggressive. I got aggressive right back. They did that because they don't want anybody asking any questions. They want you to leave their little town alone and let them do whatever they're going to do, allegedly to black children.
Ex-
Like that's what it felt like to me.
exactly. And then the fact that father, Molly's adopted father, is, he's a part. He used to be a part of the police department.
Yeah,
Like, so he got connections with them. They know exactly who
Wait,
you are.
hold on,
You
China.
gave.
I need to let that bomb drop again. I'm sorry.
he was actually
To
a 911 officer.
he was a what? Say that again, Nosy.
He was a 911 operator, so he was linked to the police department. They're very familiar with him.
Okay, so I want you guys to let that register as well, because
And
I
that
want.
that's not manufactured. And that's still public. According to Joel Tiffany's LinkedIn page, he worked for the Mesa City Council 911 dispatcher for 6 years. So even if this child called the cops, it would be intercepted. Like, let's think about this. Let's play this out. This is a small town. Gilbert, I looked him up on the census, is very teeny. It's 89.9% white, and then the remaining 11% is a mixture of everyone else. So it's a very, very majority white town. The dominant religion is Mormon. It's all churches are interconnected, and now you have a black child that's living in a home with a huge brick wall around it. Yeah, you guys don't know that. Huge brick wall that can't be scaled. And then if she called the cops, before the cops would even get the call, it could be intercepted by his buddies at the dispatchers. This man is my understanding that he doesn't only work for this dental office, he has some type of ownership. And they have 26 offices. Let's not pretend that American greed and white America doesn't do things that are shady. Look at Bernie Madoff. No one believed those people. And guess what? It's people without retirements that still have to work. Like, I don't know how long we have to let white men get away with things that are obvious. It's like we're trying to ignore the truth. A girl was disheveled, and every agency we called laughed us off. Something's weird. Then we find out the dad is loaded with money, used to work in law enforcement, and he's also connected with the organization. Oh my God, if nobody's upset about this, I am, called our Underground Railroad.
Mm,
So if you guys don't think you're getting trolled by that and how flagrant that is, please redirect your anger, because I am offended as a black woman in 2021 that an agency comprised, the board of directors is all white, that they
mm.
think it's okay, it's politically astute, it's politically correct to come up with such a name, and then given their mission. And also, let's get into our Underground Railroad. We're not making up what they're doing. We look, I've never waged any allegation. I'm just laying out the facts. This
And
is
it's
the
all
dad's
public
name.
record.
Yeah, this is where he worked. This is what he does. This is the access and resources that he has in his community. And then I looked up Operation Underground Railroad at this point because it's sheer curiosity, like, what is it? And I find out that they help with sex trafficking. That's a little weird to me. Makes me like, okay, that's weird, the name and everything. But people are trying to do a good thing, is what I'm thinking. And then I started digging and digging and digging. So the guy that runs Operation Underground Railroad connected with the Tiffany family, and he raises money to do this all over the world. But there's only one thing interesting about this. Only white men that go on these excursions abroad, and they have to pay like $50,000 to go fight sex trafficking. I'm not making this up. Trolls, since y'all clicking and clacking, Google Operation Underground Railroad and Vice News and pull the article with a woman, a journalist who went on one of the missions and said she'll never do it again. And she was disgusted because the intentions were not right. This is not my words. This is published right now, Vice News. Also, the owner of Operation Underground Railroad, Tim Ballard. I said, well, who's this guy that runs this organization? He's ex-CIA. Now, I know we don't want to believe that the CIA and the FBI, because as an adult, they're like our Santa Claus, are the bad guys, but I'll say something shady. So with Tim, I found out that he was an art lover. Could you guys put up the picture that he had commissioned of himself, the one I sent you all? with him on the railroad?
Yeah, we're
So,
gonna try to get that for you right now.
okay, so Tim Ballard commissioned, and this is the CEO and the Tiffany's friend. He commissioned a photograph of himself walking on the railroad, holding a child, and it was people on their knees, singing, crying, and celebrating. It was supposed to be the slaves and Harriet Tubman cheering him on. I'm sorry, this man is a narcissist. And if you guys want to try to reduce this to like some YouTube blog or some Instagram blog, that's on you. And that speaks about your IQ and your EQ.
Mm.
But no one is addressing the fact that police have spent more energy trying to shut down YouTube pages, trying to arrest a girl who recorded it, than the actual investigative analysis into Molly. And what troubles me the most is I haven't heard one person come forward and say, I went to school with this young lady. I know her. She's well adjusted. She's fine. You guys are doing too much. I haven't seen her come forward. This rich
But
family is speaking and hiding behind the police department, and you guys do your research. With Palm Desert Police Department, look up how many went to a school called Brigham Young. Look up how many people in Arizona, the official went to Brigham Young. It's a private Mormon college in Utah. And what you'll see is Joel Tiffany majored in political science with a specialty in Latin American studies. Weird, going to dental school, but so did another official in Palm Desert. And if that ain't weird, that they went to the same college, they had the same major, and now they won't even investigate something, maybe I'm tripping. Like, these are just the facts. I'm not saying anyone did anything, but I'm saying that there was a deviation from the usual course. And we're going to pull up the California child welfare guidelines that we have. We spoke with the CPS liaison to point out how a 2-day report you cannot open and close because your supervisor has to sign on such to say it was a conclusive investigation. That doesn't happen in 48 hours. So we're going to blackboard that too. So let's look
we're
at everything that's weird about this case that we're trying to ignore. Why, guys, wake up. Listen,
we're
I
gonna
know
pull up
nobody
those
wants to deal
California
with.
guidelines right now.
Okay. And it's like, I
We're gonna
know no
pull up
one wants to
those.
say what it is or what it looks like, but at least ask the police, ask them to answer the hard questions. Or better yet, all of this can end right now. And pardon me for having a heart that I care because I see a beautiful chocolate little girl not being cared for. I'm a Black woman. Of course I care. So pardon me, but everything about this investigation, all of this can end if we just see that Molly's safe. So here's the picture that Tim Ballard had commissioned of himself. He has the old world on the left, if you're facing the computer, and on the right, more of the modern world, people on their knees. But everyone's cheering him on as he's on this railroad. First of all, it's insulting because anyone who sat in a third grade history class knows that the Underground Railroad is not an actual railroad. That was the name of it for a route that was actually off the grid and in the opposite direction of railroads. They're trolling y'all, and you guys are getting lost in the sauce. So what about this? I see 880 people watching this live. What if everybody, I challenge everyone in this chat to just spend one day, just one day doing nothing but digging for Molly. Don't get in my business. Don't get in That's So Bold business. Don't worry about YouTubers. I just challenge everyone. Just commit. Just drop a I commit, if you will, just one day. If you'll go hard in the paint looking for Molly and see if you have enough answers to let you sleep at night. Just go hard in the paint, just looking for Molly. I ain't even saying you got to call anyone. Just go and just dig and dig and dig until you can have peace of mind. And then ask yourself, if anything ever happened to my child, my niece, my nephew, and someone said sexual assault, starvation, would I want a 48-hour investigation? Cross state 48-hour investigation, or would I want some due diligence? Like, come on, y'all, we got to say what it is. What it is it's a little Black girl that's missing right now. The facts are we haven't seen her in 11 days, so let's go through 11 ways why that is problematic. First thing first, looking at her photograph. A picture is worth 1,000 words. This is not the photograph from Angelica, but the one we put up on the blackboard with the bruises on the knees. That's problematic given the allegations we're dealing with. Then number two, let's break down Pinterest. In the Pinterest, in her books, there are 3 books. It's the good pictures and bad pictures. So mom is committed to understanding image and also porn proofing Molly. A little weird considering that temperament and tone is not with the other children's books, but I understand all children are raised differently. So that book's not alarming. Let's go with number 2, the bedwetting. At this age, it was good pictures, bad pictures. There we are, porn proofing. So that's for Molly. No other child. Okay, I'll accept that each child according to their needs. The second trigger is the bedwetting book. Molly is at an age where it's beyond the young child bedwetting. Usually that could either mean A, she may have a bladder problem, which I'll concede that's possible, but also that could be an indicator of trauma. And it's like, how many red flags do we ignore to say it's no big deal? Is it no big deal because they're white and they look wholesome? Is that why? Because if Shaniqua and Tyrone was doing it, how would we feel? So then number three, the tummy mummy. Y'all, that's a weird book to have. Like, listen, I wish somebody would give my niece or any of the little girls I know a book about surrogacy and pregnancy. I would be fighting mad. Like, that's bizarre. So we could ignore one book, maybe two books, but three books. At that point, you are complicit in the problem. If you choose to ignore that, you're complicit in the problem and you are willfully ignorant to what is going on. And let's keep going. Number three, the Underground Railroad, which we just went through. That's weird. And if you guys listening to this, black, white, blue, or purple, are okay with that type of analogy, again, I ask you to check your moral compass. That is weird to utilize something that African Americans use as some type of freedom. And you remember earlier I said I don't buy the white savior, and he throws it in your face. Is he giving freedom, or what is he doing? We don't know, because there is no credible evidence out there about what our Underground Railroad does except their little personal reports when they come back. And I remember even in third and fourth grade, you used to have to switch papers with the person beside you to check it. You don't check your own work. But I guess, again, when you're a rich billionaire in America called Tim Ballard, you can do whatever you want, because we live in a country where money trumps people. Money is power, and it's money over children, obviously, especially little black girls, because money has concealed a little girl for 11 days that thousands of people are looking for. Money has gave way and forced people to say it was a hoax before they even gave a care about the child. Money has made people scared to speak out about big and bold people. You know how many articles I've heard about Mormons having billions of dollars? And I say, so what? I don't want any kid hurt, be that Molly or any kid in a Mormon household or any household, black, white, blue, or green. So what will it take to bring us back to humanity? Because the Instagram fighting is bizarre to me. So let's keep going down the list. Number four, the Jesus picture. Listen, they already made Jesus, even though the description of Jesus in the Bible was hair with like wool and skin of the sun, and we got white Jesus, whatever, we let them have it. But this guy walking on a railroad getting cheered on by slaves, this is bizarre. That's narcissistic. Let's keep it pushing. Number five, I think, is most interesting. Riverside police, y'all, yesterday had a sex trafficking bust. Go look on their Instagram page. They but randomly, I thought they go abroad, because when I called to volunteer, they said they don't do stuff, domestically. They only go abroad. All of a sudden, right in Riverside, the place that's hot on the market, they did a sex trafficking bust. But you go on their page, I'm not making it up. Go look. Those pictures look fake as a $3 bill. They got the guy's face turned backwards. I said, now, anytime someone gets arrested, everybody knows they get the perp walk. Your face is shown. Well, they did it for Angelica. They got a whole press release full frontal with her face out. So how are they showing Angelica the accusers of pedophiles? But if they allegedly arrest pedophiles on our rescue page when they're working with Riverside, they hide their faces. Something's weird. But if that's not enough, if that's still off, if that's still just off, let's keep pushing. Number six, what bothers me is the expose for Angelica. Sunday, this case got good traction, and people were listening that needed to hear like we're begging for help. We did an interview. It garnered the attention it needed so people could know what is going on about this little girl being missing. And by the time I woke up, there's a full expose dedicated to tearing down someone who's not missing. That's weird. And that seems like misguided resources. Because if we used all the resources that we had on these platforms, all these other subscribers, with this beautiful platform where people look up to you and admire you, imagine what happens if all of those platforms that came against us, we came together. We would blow the lid off this story. Y'all know what it is, but everybody's scared. It's your chance to change the world, and everybody want to be weak, saying it's conspiracy, this and that. Like, nah. I actually want my normal life back. I'm a very private person. I don't like being out here like this. It takes a lot to be in a public space and people criticizing everything about you, and you ain't even coming to the table for that. This shit ain't fun. But unfortunately, I'm true to this, not new to this. So I have to keep fighting because I know this is wrong. So y'all gonna let them get away with possibly selling little girls? Y'all gonna let them get away with just saying she okay? Not nobody's gonna say, okay, at least let me see the little girl. Their family is talking through the dentist's office and the police. We haven't heard her or saw her in 11 days. So going back to it, number 7, child protection laws in California says that there's a good Samaritan exception. If you see something and you have reasonable suspicion, not reasonable doubt, reasonable, just enough to raise an eyebrow, just raise a brow like, that's all. You are justified in reporting that when it comes to the dealings and handling of a child. So somehow the person that did that is now a bad person and her whole life has been splattered out. But removing her video off the table, you cannot ignore all of the other facts. Let's go to number 8, the adoption agency. It's an issue I feel like we're going to beat this dead horse until y'all get it. The agency they're repping on their Facebook page, and guys, if we could get building blocks up, I know you're blocking out pictures and everything, so if possible. The agency that they're repping is Building Blocks. Google Building Blocks. Don't take my word for it. This ain't no special investigative analysis. So all the critics, y'all just shut up and Google. Do what we did, for real. Google Building Blocks Adoptions. They're based in Ohio. We know where Molly lives is in Arizona, and they don't facilitate adoptions there. If you don't believe that, tune into Nosey. Nosey called with them live on the air and recorded them say it. You
They
guys
told me
watched
that.
it.
They told me that they don't even know that family. They don't know those people. I told them the names. They don't know them.
So thank you, Nosey. Nosey did her due diligence. And guess what? She an entertainment blogger. So all the haters out there, at least the entertainment blogger did her due diligence more than the trolls. But let's keep it pushing because I don't want to give bad frequencies any energy in the universe. Y'all, everybody, while you in your energy and there's so much energy and it's high up in here, everybody just send some light, beam it to Molly. Beam it to her. Let's go back to love and humanity. Damn, we forgot to care about each other in America. So I can't ignore number 10, both cities, and I may have skipped one, pardon me. Number 10, both cities are hotbeds for sex trafficking. And this last week, I've learned a lot about sex trafficking just based on research alone. But apparently, Palm Desert and in Arizona, I'm going to say in totality, has an issue with this heinous crime. Now, throwing all of that into context, I am not accusing her family of anything. But I am saying, given all of these facts, aren't we justified in wanting to make sure a young lady who appeared to be in distress is okay? And it could all, like everything, this entire investigative analysis, this digging that everyone's doing could end immediately. It could end immediately. All we have to do is see that the child is safe. She's in good spirits. She's in good health. Because the last time we saw her, she didn't look well. And then her parents later reported that she didn't feel well.
Something because that's so true. You guys are not worried about Molly's safety. You guys are worried about people's credibility. So what I wanted to say was, it's the only reason why this case is getting such big conversation is because of the fact that it's a child involved. So I think that it's weird that the family has not made any type of statements easing people's minds. There's a lot of people outside of Instagram, outside of YouTube, in the Facebook community, everywhere who's concerned about the well-being of Molly. People want to just know if she's okay. And I feel like it's as people who are involved in the case, people who are looking stuff up, people who are wondering about the case, we deserve to know if she's okay. No one has gave us any type of proof that she's okay, but there's Instagram posts being made. The family is relaying information to other parties, but they're not directly saying anything on their social media. But instead, they're deleting things off their social media pages. They're changing their names. They're deleting accounts. They're trying to do everything to stay behind the radar, but they're not publicly letting everybody know that Molly is okay. I'm not going to take the word of no police department that has been tied, allegedly, to corruption and sex crimes and things of that nature. I need proof. I need video. I need some type of proof that's letting me know Molly's okay. And what I wanted to say was this before I let April finish, because I'm seeing a lot of people in the comments saying, well, this could just be all over with if Costco released the footage, if Costco released the footage. So I want to put some facts out, right? Costco has not released a statement about this case, and Costco has also not released the footage. We have not seen any of the outside footage. We have not seen any of the footage inside of the Costco. But another YouTuber recently made a video stating that
You there?
I think his sound, did he disconnect?
am I here? You guys can hear me?
Yep,
You're
next.
back. Uh-huh.
Okay.
Hear you.
So I'm sorry. Another YouTuber made a video saying that the Molly situation is not a real story, that Molly's okay. Because, like I was telling you guys earlier, a member of that Facebook group that Angelica spoke to stated that they spoke to Costco. They called the Costco. They spoke to the manager of the Costco. And the manager of the Costco replayed the video on the phone with them and let them hear the video in the background and kind of relay to them what was going on in the video. So let me get this straight. A whole bunch of people all over the world is tuned into this case. And no one has been able to get any video, and no one has been able to get any confirmation from anybody at Costco even saying what happened in the video, aside from the police. But yet bloggers are putting out stories of people stating that they spoke to managers or a manager named Andy at Costco, and he confirmed that such and such did not happen in the video. This is false. If they can't publicly say it, why the hell would they tell it to some regular person who's calling asking for information? You guys have to do your research, because you guys run with what these bloggers are saying, and these bloggers just be running with what people is putting in a box. They don't even if you want to say Angelica's lying, she's not credible, whatever the case may be, they didn't even take the time out to interview her or ask her any questions. But yet they're reporting information about what a person who knows what a person said. It don't make no sense. So Costco has not released any footage. I don't think the footage will be released unless this gets more attention. But to the people who are saying, oh, they spoke to the manager at Costco, I think that it would be legally wrong for the manager of Costco to gossip on the phone with someone who's a supporter of Molly or whoever the case may be, letting them know about what happened in the video. And if you don't believe me, you could go listen to these other bloggers' videos because they said it. I'm not going to say no names because I'm not giving these girls no clout, but they said it. And they run it with what these people are saying. And we don't even know if these people are really credible. Okay? And not only do I have tea regarding people who works with members of the Tiffany family, I have audio recordings of people telling me their experience of working with members of the Tiffany family. I have screenshots of people who go to school with children of the Tiffany family saying things that the Tiffany family say behind closed doors or even publicly said. And I have proof knowing that these kids are really telling the truth because they're showing me yearbook photos of them with the children of the Tiffany's. Now, I'm not going to post all of that because they involve kids, but I'm trying to get you guys to understand that this is not just some story that people are sitting in their house making up. This is a lot of people are putting time into seeing what's really going on. Is Molly okay? And understanding the Tiffany family, period. So trolls, do your research, but nobody has the Costco footage.
Right. Even if you guys don't believe Angelica, but she may not have even known this was going to blow up, but I'm glad that she brought this to light because, I mean, now look at what we're finding out about this family. She didn't open up a whole new door of things. So I'm glad that this was brought to everyone's attention.
Yes, and I'm glad to. We might have to do a part 2 of this show, guys, because it's some more stuff. We have some more slides. we're not going to stop finding out information about the case. We're not going to stop worrying about if Molly's okay. And, you know, we're going to definitely keep following up and letting you guys know what's going on. But April, I wanted you to, because we have to wrap the show up, we're going to have to probably do a part 2, but I wanted to give you the opportunity to finish out what you were saying. And
Okay.
Nosey and Chyna, if you guys have anything after April, you can say it, and we're going to close the show up because we have some other things to do, but we will do a part 2.
Okay, and I actually was on point 11. So it's been 11 days, and I just outlined 11 ways that this case is suspicious outside of Angelica. 11 ways, all based on the Tiffany's own evidence, their LinkedIn, their Facebook, their Pinterest, based purely on how they move in the matrix. But number 11 is something that's common and it's out. We can't ignore that Arizona has problems from the top to the bottom when it comes to adoption. December 1st, 2020, Paul Peterson, the tax assessor in Gilbert, Maricopa County, which is Gilbert, was indicted for adoption fraud and selling babies. And if you think I'm lying, look it up. The USA Today published an article on December 1st, 2020. So that's one top official right in Molly's neighborhood that is entangled in something fraudulent and scandalous with kids. So it just makes you worry that if she's in Arizona, they may not be taking this as seriously as other agencies because they already have a rough track record. And then let's look at Senator Tony Navarrete, I think is his name. Just 2 weeks ago, Washington Post put it out, August 11, 2021. He resigned for his treatment with children. Please look it up. Like, Arizona is struggling with its officials and its treatment of children. It is known to be a hotbed for sex trafficking. We have a black child in a majority white town. This black child appeared to be in distress. It's some dispute. People are on the fence. I would rather be wrong than right. No ego. And then we're still counting. But the bizarre thing is they have done everything in the past 11 days except due diligence on investigating Molly. They've spent more time investigating Angelica. They spent more time creating accounts to send me nasty messages. They spent more time trying to get things taken off YouTube. And dare I say, they even went out and did a big sex trafficking bust. Woohoo! But none of these expertise and skills were used when we needed them last weekend when a little black girl was in danger. Or are we just going to say white is right? Like, y'all, call a thing. Right is right and wrong is wrong. There's a little girl that we haven't seen, and she's a child to me. She's not an adult that I know of, but she's a child. We haven't seen her in 11 days. The last time we saw her, some very rough allegations were coming out, and we haven't seen her. We haven't seen any words. Actually, we haven't seen her family either, but there are reports from our witness liaisons down in Gilbert that he does go to work and he's living his life hunky-dory. Y'all, whether you like it or not, I'm still going hard for Molly. I'm not fighting with trolls. I'm here to make sure this little girl is safe. Like, I don't know how I'll ever be able to go back to my regular life knowing what I've witnessed. Like, research our Underground Railroad, read those Vice articles and see why I'm worried. I'm not saying her family's involved in sex trafficking, but I'm saying that with a family knowing how dangerous it is, the ills of society, they should be excited. They should be overjoyed that people care about their child. They should say, look, Molly, if you're ever feeling down in life, remember that time when there was a misunderstanding and thousands of people came for you. You are loved. But no, we're not there because somehow they don't convince y'all to find other talented black women to tear each other down. Like, I'm not here to use anybody's platform that way. I hope all of the people that's throwing shade and all of these videos, like, can we all come together? Like, I'm with it. Let's do it for one day where we do Operation Molly. And for a whole day, 24 hours, we just try to find this little girl. But I guess that would be too idealistic of me to want everybody to care about someone. That's all I got, y'all.
Nosey, is there anything you want to say in closing?
Yeah, I see that what my subscribers do, they show up and show out. So they've been putting hashtag Costco Girl in the comments, and I appreciate you all doing that. That hashtag is on Twitter, it's on Instagram, and we have been calling out the police department and demanding a wellness check and demanding that people pay attention to what's going on with Molly. So I hope that we can just continue doing that on social media. I think that when you make phone calls to police departments. You see what happened to me, they don't care. I think that at this point, I mean, if people want to call the police department, that's fine, but I think it's very important to get a media spotlight on this. This needs to be on the news. Wasting time with the police, that police department does not give a damn. They don't care. They made that clear. They told me I need to mind my business, basically, and that traffic was more important. So the news needs to be on top of this. If we continue to tag CNN, Don Lemon, everybody, and use hashtag Costco Girl and demand that the world pay attention to Molly, I think that change can be made. I think something can happen really quickly for her, but it takes people, getting out of their feelings and actually getting on social media and doing the right thing instead of stalking and harassing and obsessing over people that they don't know. Let's do something for Molly.
And guys, absolutely. And guys, get on Our Rescue. That's Our Underground Railroad's Instagram page. Encourage them. This is what they do. They say they're the best in the world at finding kids. Please, we don't have to be rude. Ask them to do exactly what they say they do and tell them they ain't even got to leave the country. This kid is right here in the United States. You guys say you're the best of the best. You're former CIA, former FBI. This is an easy checkup or an easy extraction. Let's just hold them to their word. You guys say you're philanthropic and altruistic and you do these wonderful things all over the world. Prove it. We got someone who needs your help and we're coming to you.
It's some things that I need to address. Chyna, is there anything you have to say before we wrap the show up? Because I want to say something, and then I'm going to close the show, and I'm going to open to you guys. You're more than welcome to come for a part 2 to finish the show with the rest of the things that needs to be said. It could be tomorrow. It could be a couple days from now. But I definitely know there's a lot more. There's a lot more receipts, audio. There's a lot more things that we did not put out. So we're going to do a part 2. Chyna, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. So I would just want to say to the audience that are listening, I just want to say, with everything that was brought forth to your attention, if you guys could please just do your research on your own, if that way you can understand why this is so important that we find this little girl before it's too late. So you guys make sure y'all do y'all in, because it seems like y'all love to type and y'all love to be engaged. So make sure you're engaged into finding Molly. Thank you. That's all I really have to say.
Yes, and I want to thank everybody who came onto today's show to show their concern about the case for Molly, to give us the information that they have. And, thank you to their supporters who tuned in. Thank you to the people who are positive in the comments. But I really want to get into the girls on Twitter and the girls on YouTube and the girls on Instagram who are trying to be negative and nasty. Like, first off, Ebony, because I got to take this to a whole nother level real quick. Ebony, you don't know if you want to be friends with us. You don't know if you want to be against us. You have been coming for That So Bold so much, but then you hide your hand when somebody comes to you directly. We have so many screenshots of you trying to be our good sis in our inbox. But yet you go to your social media and you go and you try to discredit us and throw shade at us when you're not even on our level, but you literally can't see the fact that we have did nothing but support you. That's just what I don't understand. So you think because you got bought followers that you are somewhat better than us? This situation is bigger than some internet beef, some commentary from people who someone may not like. This is about the safety of a little girl. And instead of you with your big bought followers platform, instead of you joining us and aiding us and shining light to the situation, you want to go on your social media pages for clickbait. Because at this point, that's what it is. Because every time we do something, you're in the lives. Tune the fuck in. But then you go publicly and you bash us. But then when you're done publicly bashing us, you backpedal in our box and you say how much you love us and how much you want to work with us and all that stuff. I'm done with you. I'm cutting the rope because I may not know all of what other people have said and done and the background behind everything that people are alleging from people who came onto the show. But what I do care about is Molly. And instead of you coming in my box since you're my good sis and expressing your concerns, you rather go to your social media for clickbait because you only get attention when you are piggybacking off of another blogger's name or their stories, or if you get lucky and get an at or a response from a celebrity. And that's very rare. because you got a response from someone and you ain't even do what you had to do with what you got. You got this feud with Cardi B, and you still at the same level that you were before the feud. I don't get it, but you want to go on Twitter and you want to come for That's So Bold. So it's okay. You cut. We have no affiliations with you no more. And to anybody who's upset behind the fact that we allowed certain people, whatever stuff you guys are coming up with, understand that I don't care about any of that, because y'all know That's So Bold go hard for Nicki Minaj. Y'all know That's So Bold is a bar, period. And we try not to be a biased page, and we're not. But you guys know that we go hard for Nicki Minaj. So y'all know that. I only felt like this was necessary because anybody who's passionate about this case should be on the show. But you guys are trying to piggyback for clickbait because we're the only ones who's getting a lot of coverage on this situation because we're the only ones who give a fuck. Ebony, you're done. You can keep tweeting, but please don't make me pull up the receipts. And that's all I gotta say. Don't make me pull up the receipts.
Ebony, I don't know if she's in the chat or if she's on
I don't
Twitter.
know. She's not in the chat. She's in the Twitter tweeting with her Twitter fingers.
Okay, well, Ebony, look, April, I'm not on Twitter. So, Ebony, if you're listening somehow, can you please go ahead and at least take some time to research that town Molly lives in?
She's not going to take time to research it, AAA, because she'd rather go to Twitter.
I ain't got nothing to do with that. I could
and
just
piggyback.
I could only.
Don't she have her own allegations with the? Let me mind my business.
So, Ebony, look, I can only ask.
Let me mind my business.
I'm taking a high road. Ebony, you spending a lot of time on Twitter. You got a lot of commentary, so you obviously got a voice. Man, use your voice. Don't be a sheep. Use your platform. Don't be a sheep. Do your research. And tomorrow's the day for Molly. So all that energy you got for the platform and Twitter, please just research Molly tomorrow and hit me up.
Yes, everybody, all the trolls, hit up Molly. Not hit up Molly. Research the Molly case. Hit up AAA. Hit up everybody on the show if you guys want to, put your evidence together because y'all super detectives. But Ebony, I really think that you should take more time into, being that girl since you're that girl versus trying to worry about what the hell we talking about on a separate platform that you have nothing to do with. It's either you with us or you against us, and you against us, so stay over there. Because we worried about Molly. I don't care about what you tweeting about to get likes off our name. And I will read you down in a separate video because I get the girls together. But you and the other one who recently put us in her video, enough is enough. Because y'all don't want to face me directly, but y'all throwing little cheap shots. We worried about Molly, period. So that's what I wanted to say. There will definitely be a part 2. And at the end of the part 2, there might even be a Remy's read. Because these other bloggers, they're trying to piggyback instead of worrying about Molly. Put some research into tweeting the investigators who claimed Molly's okay. I mean, am I wrong?
And in part 2, we have to address the fact that Angelica was arrested. They confiscated her phone, and then the next day they come out with the expose. So it looks to me like it could be possibly illegal evidence if they didn't. We got all our stuff on the public forum, but if they used her phone for serendipitous purposes, that's another thing.
Well, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, y'all say, but either way, tomorrow. What's tomorrow? Thursday, or I don't even know the day of the week, y'all. Wednesday. Tomorrow, hump day. It's a day for this haters, lovers, all of that. Molly, just research Molly. Whatever suspicion you have, go in a rabbit hole. I'm telling you guys.
Look, guys, we have to wrap the show up. I'm sorry, guys. I'm getting some scenes from behind the scene. People are telling me we got to wrap it up. But I want to say this last time. I shouldn't have to defend this. Y'all know we go hard for the queen. Y'all know we go hard for any talented female rapper. And I don't have time to be sitting here if I'm trying to break a story about something that's important, worrying about all this other stuff that I knew nothing about. So you bloggers who are trying to piggyback off of that, you should be ashamed of yourself. Because I don't know about every other little thing that's happened with guests on the show. What I do know about is a guest was passionate about the well-being of a child. So get your shit together. Because you got some case. You know what? Let's wrap the show up. We're going to wrap the show up. Thank you to everybody who supported the show. Thank you to everybody who listened.
Thank you.
And justice for Molly, period.
Yeah, justice. We begin how we end. Where is Molly? We still don't know.
Period. We don't know. We're going to find it out. So we wrapping the show up.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me on your show. Bye.
Thank you for having me. That's so bold.
Oh, he's gone.